wouldn't know what to do. My son get a murder charge, bro. Like, I gotta stop him from crashing out, bro. Like,
what started as a rap diss has now turned into a full-blown federal nightmare. Boosie's son isn't just responding online. Leaked messages, serious charges, and real-life consequences have law enforcement watching closely. This isn't internet beef anymore. It's about pride, pressure, and a young man on the edge of throwing his entire future away. Stay locked in, because once you hear the full story, you'll understand why this situation has everyone nervous. Boosie's crash-out son is allegedly moving like he wants Kodak Black dead after Kodak dissed his dad. And it didn't stop at tough talk. He's already been exposed for making a real attempt, putting the entire hip-hop scene on edge and law enforcement on high alert. While the internet saw Instagram posts and reckless flexing, the reality is way darker. Tootie Raw was allegedly running around with switches, sawed-off shotguns, machine guns, and silencers, a combination that landed him serious federal charges and sparked death threats toward multiple rappers. We're talking willful obstruction of law enforcement on top of weapons charges that could lock him up for decades. And the truth behind how this beef exploded is way more dangerous than people realize. We're breaking it all down, including the exact messages where Tootie allegedly said he couldn't wait to catch a rapper and shoot him. Plus, how he's been stalking Lil Crick since 2023 trying to turn threats into action. Yo, what's good, fam? We're about to dive deep into some real street chaos that's been shaking hip-hop, the kind that doesn't end in diss tracks, but in life sentences or body bags. This isn't regular rap beef. This is federal case energy with real consequences. Before we jump all the way in, let me keep it real. Social media has been on fire over Boosie's son Tootie Raw supposedly crashing out over Kodak Black's diss. But we're separating facts from fiction, truth from rumors, because this situation has layers most people have no clue about. 2023 is when things really started heating up, but the roots go even deeper. Kodak Black was offered $1 million to do a song with Tekashi 6ix9ine. And like anyone chasing a massive bag, he took the deal. What Kodak didn't realize was that decision would trigger a domino effect that's still playing out today. Death threats, federal charges, and a young man spiraling toward ruining his life. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't some petty rap beef that'll blow over in a month. We're talking about someone already facing major federal gun charges, including sawed-off weapons, machine guns, and silencers, now making direct threats against established rappers while out on bond. That's the type of situation that ends in either decades behind bars or a tombstone. Here's where it gets spicy. Back in 2023, Kodak got that $1 million offer from 6ix9ine. And for anyone who somehow forgot, 6ix9ine is arguably the most hated figure in hip-hop after snitching on his entire Treyway crew to shave time off his sentence. We're talking full cooperation. When Kodak accepted the deal, it sent shockwaves through street rap culture. But here's the twist. 6ix9ine was playing chess, not checkers. He was using respected artists to legitimize himself and prove that even so-called street rappers would fold for the right price. Kodak went on Drink Champs and dropped a quote that had everyone stunned. $1 million is $1 million. I don't even know who he told on, and I ain't from over there. That's y'all rad.
Me and fucking all bro do a song with a nigga who like I don't even know the niggas he told on.
Went in on
and I ain't even from over there. Niggas some shit like nigga that's y'all rap. I know only nigga squeeze this nigga out some cheese, homie. Yeah. I know so do some shit like y'all ain't finna do nothing. Y'all ain't even squeeze a nigga out some money.
Let's be real. That line told everyone loud and clear that morals, street codes, and principles all have a price if the check is big enough. But this wasn't just about one song. It sparked a bigger debate. Can street rappers really separate business from street credibility? Kodak basically said street politics don't apply to him when money's involved. And that split hip-hop right down the middle. From a business standpoint, Kodak wasn't totally wrong. The industry has always prioritized money over morals. But when your entire brand is built on authenticity, taking money from the most infamous snitch in rap history looks like the ultimate sellout. In street culture, snitching is the final sin. No redemption, no forgiveness. Boosie has always been vocal about street codes, even when it cost him money in relationships. So when he found out Kodak really did that song, it hit personal. Boosie called Kodak's brother to confirm it, then blocked Kodak completely. He said it hurt him for real. Losing respect for someone you thought was solid. Boosie didn't mince words, and that was detrimental to me. 69 is the most hated person in prison by every race. Kodak got a stand on that.
It was a lie. When I first saw it on Instagram, I got up, tried to call Kodak, but he must have had a new number. I called his brother, and I asked him, did Kodak do a song with 6ix9ine? He said, yeah, bro. Think so. It fucked me up, it hurt me. He asked me, did I want to talk to Kodak? I told him I ain't want to talk to Kodak, or block Kodak. That was a detrimental move to him, bro. 6ix9ine is the most hated person in prison. By every race, what Kodak did, he's gonna have to stand on that.
And honestly, Boosie wasn't wrong about the cultural impact. Kodak's move opened the door for other artists to work with 6ix9ine, weakening the anti-snitch stance in hip-hop. Now you've got a culture clash, old school street code versus modern profit-first rap. Some respected Kodak's honesty. Others felt he sold out everything hip-hop stood for. That divide is the foundation of everything happening now. Fast forward to 2024 and Kodak is on completely different timing. Word is he's deep into drugs and that's affecting his judgment. Mix substances with ego and unresolved beef and you get crash out behavior. That's exactly what happened when Kodak dropped a diss aimed at Boosie, conveniently the day before Boosie had court. The timing alone was foul. In the track, Kodak went straight for personal shots, saying Boosie was mad he couldn't sign him back in the day, calling him jealous, questioning his Augsy status, and claiming Boosie was irrelevant unless he mentioned bigger names like Kodak or NBA YoungBoy. The song sounded smooth, but the lyrics were designed to sting. Boosie snapped. He jumped on Twitter and unloaded. He called Kodak a clout-chasing crackhead, mocked his career, his looks, his relevance, and painted him as someone sitting by the phone hoping for bad news. Then Boosie delivered the ultimate street insult, saying he'd never have to check into PC like Kodak did. That's questioning someone's gangster at the highest level. The hashtag said it all, CCC, clout-chasing crackhead. Now here's the real problem. Boosie's son, Tootie Raw. He's already facing federal weapons charges that sound like a GTA loadout. Sawed-off shotgun, rifle, machine gun, silencer, plus obstruction of law enforcement. These aren't state charges, these are federal. Mandatory minimums. Decades on the table. Instead of laying low, Tootie jumped headfirst into the beef, posting threats on Instagram while out on bond, saying he's ready for war, claiming he's really in the streets, and daring anyone to test him. That's not defense. That's self-destruction. People in the comments clowned him, calling him soft, privileged, just Boosie's son. And that disrespect clearly got under his skin. Things got dangerous when Lil Crick, someone connected to Kodak's circle, started reposting and laughing at Tootie's threats. What most people didn't know is Tootie had been targeting Lil Crick since 2023. Months of DM, harassment, escalating threats. Screenshots showed Tootie sending straight death threats, saying if Lil Crick pulled up, he wouldn't make it back. But the most chilling message was this. Tootie said he was ready to make an example out of a rap guy and go viral for it. That tells you everything. This wasn't about protection. This was about clout. Fame through violence. That's the most dangerous mindset there is. Someone who sees murder as a path to respect. And when you add the pressure of being a celebrity's child, constantly being called soft and fake, it creates a ticking time bomb. The sad truth, Tootie grew up around the lifestyle. He saw it young. But he wants the reputation without understanding the cost. Boosie paid for his name with prison time, lost friends, and real sacrifice. Tootie's trying to inherit that image without paying the same dues. And that's how situations spiral out of control live.
Put them phones up, Tootie. Where you from? Put them up. This Tootie badass. Tell the camera where you from. Cross the what? Track.
The real issue is Tootie trying to live up to his dad's Boosie Bada's reputation without fully understanding what it actually took to build it. Boosie didn't get that name handed to him. He went through real hell for it. He did real prison time, lost real friends in the streets, and made real-life sacrifices that most people couldn't survive. That kind of legacy isn't something you can just inherit or imitate. It was earned the hard way.
Now that you get older, you be like, bruh, like, How the fuck you 40 years old still gotta look over your shoulder, you know, from your past? That's a fucked up feeling. When you gotta go especially when you go in your seat, you gotta look everywhere over your shoulder. Like, that shit wasn't worth it. The respect you got for anything you did ain't worth you being a older man looking over your motherfucking shoulder.
That's right.
Tootie wants the respect, but he doesn't want to pay the price. And that's just not how the streets work. On top of that, Boosie has always been extra protective of his kids, doing everything he can to keep them away from the same lifestyle that nearly ruined his own life. But Tootie doesn't see it that way. To him, that protection feels like his dad doesn't believe in him. Like Boosie thinks he's not tough enough. And that kind of thinking breeds resentment, pushing Tootie to prove himself even harder. Now let's break down the reality of Tootie's situation from a legal perspective. He's already dealing with serious federal weapons charges that could land him 10 to 20 years minimum. On top of that, he's now making public death threats. Exactly the kind of behavior prosecutors love to use in court. They can argue he's a danger to society and deserves the harshest sentence possible. Every Instagram post, every DM, every reckless threat is being saved as evidence right now. Federal prosecutors are stacking this case brick by brick, painting Tootie as the exact person these gun laws were created to stop. Someone using weapons to intimidate and threaten others.
I wouldn't know what to do. My son get a murder charge, bro. Like, I gotta stop him from crashing out, bro. Like, then it worried me more. All them little around him clutching, all them little clutching, man. You know, easy for something to happen, bro. Like, should be having me worried as a daddy, bro. Like.
For anyone not up to speed on federal gun laws, possession of a sawed-off weapon and a silencer are no joke. These charges come with mandatory minimum sentences. Add a machine gun charge to the mix, and now we're talking about decades behind bars. And making death threats while out on bond? That's basically begging the court to revoke your bond and slap on even more charges. This whole beef between Kodak and Boosie, with Tootie jumping in and issuing threats, highlights a much bigger problem in hip-hop culture. Too many young men feel like they have to prove they're real through violence and criminal behavior instead of talent, discipline, and hard work. The streets are watching this play out, and the message being sent is dangerous. When celebrity kids are online talking about catching bodies for clout, what do you think that tells kids who don't have the same money, connections, or safety nets? Let's be real, there's nothing cool about throwing your life away for fake street credibility. Tootie has a platform most people would kill for. He could be building businesses, creating jobs, and uplifting his community. Instead, he's chasing the same demons that almost destroyed his father, and they could destroy him too. At its core, this isn't just about proving toughness or defending Boosie's name. This is about a young man who's been given every advantage, yet is choosing the most dangerous path possible because of cultural pressure, insecurity, and a desperate need for validation. The Kodak and Boosie beef started as a debate over principles, working with snitches and what that means in hip-hop, but it's spiraled into something far more serious. Now we've got a young man talking about death and going viral for violence. This goes way beyond one family's drama. It's about how violence is glorified and how young men are taught to prove themselves through crime. Until that mindset changes, we'll keep watching talented lives get wasted for temporary respect. The real question is whether Tootie will learn from his father's mistakes, or if he'll have to experience the system firsthand to understand that this lifestyle leads nowhere good. And if he actually follows through on these threats, the outcome could be devastating. Multiple life sentences, or worse, someone's son not making it home. Boosie survived hell and tried to build something better. Now his son appears to be walking the same road, maybe even a worse one, making threats while already facing federal charges. That's not gangster, that's just reckless. What do you think about Tootie's situation and where he's headed? Is he really about that life, or just trying to prove himself to people who were never going to respect him anyway? Should Boosie step in more, or is Tootie old enough to deal with the consequences of his own choices? And what does this say about how young men are being raised in hip-hop culture?